friends. Welcome to Race to Rise podcast, a place where we discuss bite-sized wisdom nuggets with easy-to-follow practices to live a better life. I am your host, Mital Patel, a parenting junkie, Ayurveda enthusiast, and an advocate of conscious living.
September 20th, 2021. I woke up with cough. Yes, had to run to urgent care, got the nose swab done. 20 minutes later, ta-da! You got COVID. Yes, so today is my day 5, and yeah, I am in one room, operating from this bed, eating, sleeping, working, reading, everything in this one space. But I am not mad about it, or I am not sad about it, or I don't feel pity. I was reflecting on day 3. I was getting a little better. So by now, okay, let me step back a little. I am sharing my COVID journey here. I really wanted to share my experience. I don't wish this for anyone to suffer from this or anyone to get COVID, but just in case if you ever get into any of this traumatic situation, of course it is kind of traumatic, I really wanted to share my experiences and see if that helps you, because what works for me not necessarily can work for you, but you can always give it a try. There's nothing wrong with trying a different approach, right? So yeah, COVID journey. Day 1, day 2, I was miserable. The body was miserable. I was just in bed, just resting, listening to body, whatever the body needed. Day 3, got up, fine, recorded a couple of reels and had some fun, shared my experiences and learning. And so I really wanted to record a couple of my non-negotiables even during this tough time regarding parenting, and which is giving me comfort, and at the same time it's deepening my bond with my kids. And so I really wanted to ensure that I make sure that I record this and get it ready for you guys for next week. Okay, so 2 non-negotiables. One is the connection time with children, and the second is taking care of my mind. So important when we're in the adverse situation, because these are the situations where we really need to be mindful and respond to these hardship challenges with consciousness, right? Instead of reacting in pity, instead of reacting in bitterness, instead of reacting in panic. Most of the time we get into this self-pity mode and we end up asking, why me? I hate this. How did I get this? When things happen, just, one approach that I take it is, okay, I got it. Maybe this is what I needed. Maybe this is what's best for me. Universe knows what's best for me. And I always take it as a sign that probably something big was going to happen, and this is just the universe's way of, just getting things done in a smaller way. I could have been worse with my symptoms. I could have been worse, but I'm vaccinated. I always have precautions. So it is what it is, right? So I take this. I have this mantra in my life. It is what it is. And they say people who follow this mantra, it is what it is, are dangerous people. Dangerous in the sense because they are just, gonna take the life as it is. And that is what I have learned in my personal journey, that it is not about fighting. Rather, it's about responding, and it's about accepting what is the isness of that moment. Accept it. This is what it is. Now what? What is in my control? What can I do? How can I be in charge? Rather than me going into the fixed mindset like, okay, I feel bad about this. I feel bad for myself. I am annoyed or whatever. So And it's just so easy to get into the rabbit hole as well. So I wanted to share what I have been doing. I've been journaling a lot. Of course, video journaling. I haven't been able to, I couldn't bring my journals with me. So I forgot my journals, but I have a notepad, so I write in there sometimes. And I also do a lot of recordings, so voice recording, video recordings, and texting it to myself. This is the way I've been dealing, talking to myself and getting whatever's in my head just out and then reflecting on it. Is the number way I've been taking care of my mind and resting out. Of course, taking care of body is priority, and then taking care of mind so that I don't go into that victim mentality and I don't get stuck into the fixed mindset. Rather, this is the opportunity for me to grow, for me to look within, for me to, tap into my inner wisdom, for me to work with myself instead of work against myself. Because at the end of the day, we're all in charge of ourselves, right? It's about the choice that we make. So I chose to, accept what it is and then what's next, and focus on what is it that I can do. So of course, I focus on my physical health, I focus on my mental health, and my second priority was having that connection time with my kids. No matter how bad I was in bed, but I was making my connection time a priority with them. I would call them, we would do video calls, where it's just me and one child. And I did it same with my husband. I really feel that communication is the key to, the successful relationship or connected relationship. It's all about communicating. How are we communicating is what matters the most. And connection is all about communication. Whether you say it or not, it doesn't have to have a verbal, your energy speaks louder than your actions and your words. So that's all that matters. Just me calling my kids on time and me listening to them and being there is enough. That is all our kids need. And so I really wanted to share that those are the two things that I prioritized: my health and wellness, and make sure my mental well-being, I'm not getting into the negative rabbit hole, and at the same time connection time. So how I have heard this, like, okay, yeah, of course my symptoms weren't that bad, but I am just saying, like, even if you can just sleep on the phone with your loved one, whether that's your partner, your friend, your parents, your husband, your kids, anyone. That's what I do. That because this is that time. The people are, and I really believe that, and now I'm saying it from the experience, that it's not that the COVID, like that virus, is the worst. It's the mindset that we get into is what kills us the most, because again, we are isolated. We're in this one room quarantine where we don't have no connection. We're wired for connection. Okay, we're humans. We're wired for connection. When we don't get that, we just end up into that negative mindset, and that's where the trouble comes. Again, what we think we become, right? It's all about that thought. It's all about the process. How are we feeding ourselves? So it's, again, getting into that rough mindset is what's most killing people. Because my mom last week on Friday, you must have heard I shared that, my mom tested positive and we don't know how things are. We're all self-quarantined. So I had to be the chosen one for this. And I honestly took this as an opportunity to rest, an opportunity to work, on myself, an opportunity to go within, an opportunity to just spend that quality time with myself, like really, because I mean, this is my personal experience, but I have always been on the go. What's next? What's my next achievement? And I don't get to pause a lot. Just a day-to-day pauses is not enough. It's like we really need to reflect upon what we have been working on and we are doing and where we're heading. Are we on the right path? So I just took it as a blessing that I really, really, really needed this time for myself, along with, of course, deepening bond, with my family, with my kids. And believe or not, my kids, I have 11-year-old and a 4-year-old. My 4-year-old is just such a well-behaved kid right now. I thought, I'm also one of those control freak parent in the sense facilitating of environment. I don't mean to control my kids, but I also like to facilitate the environment for them so they can thrive. And one of my fear was initially that how are they going to handle this situation without me? But then that was my learning point, like life doesn't stop for anyone. And that was the hard truth that I really needed to hear from the universe, because I got into in providing thriving environment and facilitating and being that conscious mom and being there for my kids and focusing on their growth. I kind of got into that controlling aspect that oh yeah, I can do this kind of a deal, and I really took it for granted that you never know what can happen the very next moment. And so this was actually like a really perfect, great time for us, because I'm one of those, like, I take the task on me, like I really have to get done myself, and I have delegating issue, and I'm actually working on it. I am getting a leadership training coaching at work, because I honestly have a problem delegating because I have trust issue. I am such a perfectionist, and if I have a vision in my head, I want that thing to turn out that way. And if I am sharing it with someone, but I know that it's gonna take them more time, or I know that I'm gonna have to dictate more, or I know I'm gonna have to train them more, I feel like that's just a waste of energy of mine and theirs. And so I just take the task and I just do it all by myself. And so I am one of those person who likes to do everything by herself. Whether it's about, kids' duties, whether it's about deciding what to eat, whether it's anything, like I have to make a decision. I am one of those person in my household. And I really think that this 10 days have given all of us an opportunity that if I am not there, they can manage. Nothing stops for you. Nothing is an emergency. Like, I used to think everything is an emergency and I have to be available for everyone. That's another topic, but you don't have to be available for everyone every time. And that's where I learned, and I really think this just turned out really good for us. Like, it worked out for us and our family. And I don't mean to brag it about it, or I don't mean I really empathize with anyone who is in this situation and or who is going through this. I really feel your pain, because I've been through this myself. But I also wanted to share that we all have a choice. It's the choice that we make. And so the two choices that I made was, of course, focusing on my physical and mental health. And the second was connection time with my kids, making that a non-negotiable on a daily, every day. I made sure that I spend 20 minutes each with each of my child, where we focused on, like, where the only thing we did was I listened to their day and how things are and how everything's going. And we share about our feelings and our big emotions and how everything's so frustrating right now. So we just shared with each other, and we just listened to each other. And then we sometimes when we decided to watch movies, like if I watched a movie I recommended, and then if they watched something they recommended, we share about our movie views and whatnot. And we made some craft. My son surprised me with the craft. I actually shared about it on my Instagram, IGTV, so go ahead and check it out. So yeah, that's about it. Like, this is my COVID journey. Today is by the time I'm recording, this is my day 6. By the time this comes out, I shall be out of this space. And hopefully, yeah, you know what? I will be out of this place and I will be at work when this comes out. So I really just wanted to share that prioritize and make a choice, because you have a choice to make. You can make a choice. We all have a choice, and universe is always looking out for us. Take it from that mindset. Take it as an opportunity, and you will thrive.
That's it for this week's episode of Race to Rise. Be sure to sign up to our email list at risewithmittal.com and join us again next time for more wisdom about life, kids, and everything in between. I am Mittal Patel, wishing you happy raising and rising.